It's almost the new year. We are so excited for the new year, but the new year a lot of times can be this time where we feel a lot of pressure to make changes because of what we think we should be doing, not because of what's actually best for us. And we lose touch a lot of times with what is best for us. So, something that I really want to tap into today is how we can make decisions for our wellness, for our health, for our mental health, for our body image that are really going to support us the most throughout the year so that you can set yourself up to set goals to have your best year yet. So that's why I say goal smashing. We literally want to knock them out of the park. We don't want to feel like the goals that we've set for ourselves are these things that are dragging us along, that we feel all this pressure to maintain, that they feel so out of reach. Shouldn't feel that way. I think that's a way that a lot of us feel a lot of the time because of diet culture, because of the pressures that we put on ourselves to create this perfect life and these perfect habits. And we're going to talk about how to find the perfect habits for you, but also to release a lot of that pressure today. So let's dive in. So this is me. If you guys haven't chatted with me before on a call, that's me. That's me when I was in first grade, 7 years old. And I use this photo because that is who I am. That's who I am deep down. That's who I am talking to and working with a lot of times when I'm dealing with my own body image, with my own confidence. And I think about her all the time. I think about her when I speak negatively to myself, when I am struggling with my body image, I'm struggling to allow myself to eat enough, whatever I've been through in the past. I think about this version of me. And that's the version of me that I really like to bring to a call like this, because you can't look at that face and say she doesn't deserve to feel loved and feel good and feel confident and strong. We're so hard on ourselves, but thinking back to my younger self, it really helps me to put into mind who I am. I am Sarah. I am a body image coach, but I am a lot of other things. I am 25. I live in Bali right now. I'm from Massachusetts in the USA originally. I think most of us are from the US in this call, but I've been in Bali for almost a year, which is crazy. I can't believe that. And everything that I'm going to share with you today, everything that maybe you see of my life on social media that I share through my work, being in Bali, living the life that I live, everything that I feel about myself, everything that I have courage to do. I'm someone that loves like a good adrenaline rush. I'm somebody that loves to do things that make me uncomfortable, that are new. I attribute all of that to my journey between this version of myself on the slide and where I am now. And so much of that is my experience with my self-worth and my body image. So this is me also when I was anywhere from about, I think, 16. That photo on the left in the black shirt, everybody has a winged eyeliner face, including me, to about 21, 22. I put all of these photos here because in all of these photos, I didn't believe that I was good enough. And I like to share these as well because they're also part of me and they're part of this journey. And we're very hard on ourselves to be perfect a lot of times. And we don't appreciate the versions of ourselves that struggle, that we're imperfect. We're always just focused on the future. But this is undeniably a part of who I am as well. The part of me that didn't think she was good enough, that struggled with eating disorders, that dated really shitty guys as a result, that felt so out of control with food, skipped her college classes to go to the gym. All of those versions of me are part of me as well. And I really like to hold space for that as well. So regardless of where you are now and where you want to go, something made you come to this call that makes you want to make a change for your future. And when we want to make a change for our future, we have to hold space for our past as well. And this is also me. These are all pictures of me from the last few years when I did feel like I was good enough, where I did feel like I deserve to eat, that it's okay to gain weight, that I deserve good relationships, that I deserve the life of my dreams. You can see a lot of these photos are centered around like food and drink. It's one of the pleasures of life. You can see photos of me with long hair and short hair and moving my body and trying new things and surfing. That's been something about this year that I've really fallen in love with. All of these moments I really attribute to this journey that I've been on. There's so much of my life in this. There's so much color in these photos. I feel like that's a really beautiful representation of the life that I've allowed myself to live because I've been able to strengthen my self-worth, to heal my body image, to heal my relationship with food, and to set goals for myself that really allow me to get out of my comfort zone, that nourish my self-love and remind me constantly that I am good enough and therefore deserve everything that I want. This is also me. This isn't literally me, quite obviously. These are some of my clients that I've had in the past, I'd say 2-ish years, and they are a huge part of me. I love this work that I do. What you see me share on social media, or if you're on my email list, or you've been a client of mine, this is really what I consider to be who I am these days. And all of these amazing women, not everybody that I've worked with is on here, these amazing women that I get to work with. It is so wonderful to have this be a part of me and who I am as well. I love seeing all of them there. I love seeing how incredibly powerful all of these women are. And you'll see a lot of quotes and shares from them throughout this masterclass, throughout this circle. Know that every single woman on here started with me when they worried that they weren't good enough either. And through our work together, they've really been able to find that confidence that they were looking for as well. And it's been a really beautiful journey. This is also me. This is the work that I do. This is just a very small piece of the work that I do. I create these changes within women every single day, and it is extremely powerful. I've been working as a body image coach for 3 years now, and in that time, I've become a bit of an expert on our body image issues and how to release them. I've worked so many clients through my programs, and it's been such a learning experience to show me the best way to move us through these parts of our lives that are very challenging. My clients typically come to me because it feels like they've tried everything already. They've tried everything else, from therapy is 75 hard, from holistic healing to dieting, and they just want to feel confident as they are. They know it's about more than body image that's making them lack this confidence in themselves, that it goes deeper into their past. Again, that picture of me as a child that I showed you, there's no coincidence that is in this presentation for that reason. And they recognize that body image affects just more areas of our lives than our confidence. It's not just about how we feel about our appearance. We feel that impact in the workplace, in romantic relationships, in a struggle to be fully present with our friends at a meal out because we're focused on the calories and the food we're eating, or trying to find the healthiest option on the menu. There is so much that comes with body image, with self-image struggles, that I've really been able to help a lot of amazing women through. I really view body image as this iceberg. I really view body image in this way, where a lot of us see it as just these surface things, like not feeling super secure in our body, or wanting to lose weight, or not being able to put ourselves out there as much as we'd like to. And there's so much more beneath the surface. Looking at this photo, I want you to allow yourself to identify with anything on here that stands out to you. Without realizing it, you're completing the first step of our circle today, which is that when you want to make a change, you have to start with awareness instead of just pushing it down. So many of us have for so long. Allow yourself to be curious about where you're at right now. What on this slide stands out to you as, oh yeah, I'm struggling with that. I definitely want to work on that. Because there are things on this slide that I also am working on in my own life as well. You have to start with awareness first. Allow yourself to be curious about where you're at right now, what obstacles on this iceberg are currently presenting themselves, and we'll get into how to get past them soon. Regardless of what stands out to you, on your iceberg. And regardless of what you came to this circle hoping to achieve, I can guarantee that if you feel connected to my work and you feel pulled to the circle today, then it's also probably because we're not as easy on ourselves as we could be. We're probably a bit hard on ourselves as well. So, and something that we're going to dive into for sure. I want to share some experiences of my clients because I think that it's really important for us to understand that regardless of where you're at right now, wherever it feels impossible for you to get to, whatever you can't imagine having accomplished for yourself, it is absolutely possible. Maybe you're sick of body checking. Maybe every time you walk past mirrors or get in the shower, go to the bathroom, you overexamine what you look like and you're never happy with it and you really want to stop that habit. Or maybe you want to stop comparing your body to your friends or people on the street. I just shared something about this on Instagram yesterday because comparison is something that I've been working on in my own life for years now. And it's something I've made so much progress with, but it is absolutely a goal that I am working on in 2024. But yeah, maybe we want to release a lot of that comparison, allow ourselves to recognize that it doesn't make us more body confident, even if we compare ourselves and feel better about ourselves for a moment. Maybe we feel like the bigger friend in the group. I felt this way for my entire life. I feel like I'm so much bigger than so many of my friends, and I'm trying to release that belief that I am this giant when I stand next to them, releasing that belief about myself that I'm just this bigger friend. And that says something to other people about who I am, how much I'm worth, how attractive I am, has been so liberating in my own life. Maybe you don't want to feel that way anymore. Maybe you feel like your friends don't understand what it feels like to feel that way. And so you want to find community that does understand you and that can help you through this. Maybe that is one of your goals for this year. Maybe you're sick of obsessing over eating out, needing to preview the menus beforehand, and you stress out, feeling out of control of these unknown calories in the meals you're eating. Maybe you're seeing different coping mechanisms for food other than food restriction or overeating or binge eating when you're in times of stress, because it makes you feel so guilty and it doesn't make you feel good about your relationship with food or your body. Or maybe you're like me a few years ago, avoiding gluten and dairy and sugar and other bad foods because of a self-proclaimed intolerance. But deep down, it's because you're afraid that those foods will impact your appearance through cellulite or weight gain or acne. I actually made myself lactose intolerant a couple years ago because I convinced myself that I was lactose intolerant. And when you stop eating dairy, you stop producing the enzyme to break it down. And I actually became lactose intolerant for a bit, and breaking myself out of that mindset of I'm not actually allergic to dairy proteins. I am just so afraid of these calories that was a huge goal for me about 2 years ago. I'm so grateful that I was able to really ground myself in my relationship with food. Maybe as we enter the new year, you're feeling too intimidated to go to the gym or try new classes. I just started going to a new gym. It's stressful. It's like social anxiety to the max, but maybe you just want to have a gym practice or a movement practice that you don't fall off the wagon with after a month. Maybe you feel like you don't know what to do at all when it comes to exercise and you want to figure that out and how it fits into your real life, your schedule, your budget. Or maybe you've been doing movement that you don't enjoy for a really long time. I used to force myself to go to spin classes. Fine if you love spin, but oh my gosh, I don't, because I thought that's what I should be doing. And maybe you want to rediscover what movement you genuinely enjoy and really have that be a source of joy in your life, but you don't know how to get that enjoyment back. It's absolutely something that we can tackle. If it's anything I just mentioned, I can guarantee that I've been there. These are all examples from my real life. If it's not something I mentioned, I've still probably been there, or I've had a client that has worked through the same thing. I've moved through it. I've helped my clients move through it every day, which means that I can help you through it too, which is a really beautiful thing for us to have this community. So we have a main goal as we enter this new year. And it's a main goal because it is the goal that almost every single one of my clients has when they want to make changes and they want to set goals. It is super important for you to keep in mind as we go into this new year. If you want to change your mindsets and change your habits and have those changes stick long term. I can guarantee that regardless of what you want to accomplish, that this bigger picture adjustment is only going to help you do it. The goal is redefining what healthy enough means to you. This is what allows you to be motivated by self-love when you move and when you eat. And that is the secret to long-term habits. This is what allows you to have those consistent habits that you want to show up for, not habits that you dread, and feel confident in how you're taking care of yourself, to stop questioning whether or not you're doing enough. It allows you to release any perfectionism or people pleasing that ultimately sabotage you getting to where you want to be. Trying to be perfect in your habits, trying to do it all at once, do the most, actually makes it harder for you to achieve them. And we're going to talk about why. The way that we redefine what healthy enough means to you is twofold. That's the majority of what we're going to do today. And by redefining this, again, you are going to be able to be more consistent in your habits. Your goals are going to feel so much more achievable. First, we're going to make sure you understand the real reasons that you fall out of habits and fail to meet the goals that you set. And then we're going to discuss how to create goals that stick and that you actually feel energized by. Because if we're going into the new year feeling overwhelmed, beyond this holiday season overwhelmed, if we're feeling overwhelmed by the goals that we're setting or the things that we want to accomplish, something is wrong and something needs to change. We should feel at this time of the year completely capable of achieving what we want to achieve. Having this self-trust within ourselves that we're going to be able to do it, that we're going to get to our healthiest body or our most stable relationship with food. And know that however that journey looks is exactly how it's supposed to look. If we don't feel that way going into this year, something needs to change and you are in the perfect place to do it. I will be sending you a bonus homework exercise that we're going to take some time for after our class. That's going to help you get even more clear on both of these. There are two main reasons that you fall out of your habits or you fail to meet your goals. Number one, you take on too much at once. If you're looking at this and you're thinking, oh my God, that's me. I know, me too. It's okay. The standard that you hold yourself to is too high. You have this vision of having all of your ideal habits in full swing at once. And I have to just go one slide ahead because I have a client who literally put this into perfect words. You have this vision of having all of your ideal habits in full swing at once. Starting the new year, I'm going to go to the gym 6 days a week. I'm going to cook all my meals at home. I'm going to journal every night. I'm going to do yoga every morning. Da, 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 da. But when you realistically divide up this pie chart that is your day or your week, there just isn't enough seconds for you to be gymming 6 days a week, cooking all your meals at home, journaling, yoga, meditating, learning language, dating, seeing friends. I'm definitely not describing my own life at all. In this quote from my client, Bailey, she came to me in this exact moment and she said, I was trying to solve all the problems all at once. It was just not realistic. It made her super anxious to the point that she says, I couldn't even leave the house. She put so much pressure on herself to achieve everything at once that she was achieving nothing. And that is not a coincidence. Like I said, trying to be perfect at your habits actually makes it harder for you to achieve them. Instead, you could have long-term method that avoids the overwhelm and makes you feel in charge. It gives you self-trust that you will be able to give the necessary attention to these things, but it doesn't take on this all or nothing approach that makes you want to jump ship right after deciding to be captain. Number two, you're shitting on yourself. My friend Mary is the first person that ever said this expression to me, and it resonated so much. Reason number two, you are acting based on what you think you should be doing, not what's actually best for you or best for getting to your goals. You're operating based on what you think other people would approve of, what this greater picture of society or them would be doing or would think you should be doing. And you get so caught up in thinking about that that you don't actually do what would be best for you or would make you happiest. My client Olivia was the exact same way. She was judging herself and worrying about what I need to do versus what I want to do or what her body truly needs. That feeling of I need to be doing this is the shooting on yourself. The feeling of what I want to do is you pushing down this true desire, this true knowing of what's best for yourself, because we really do know what's best for ourselves. When we are connected mind to body again, when you reconnect, it is so easy to make decisions. It is so easy to be confident that you are doing enough. So if it doesn't feel that way right now, we might be shooting on ourselves. You're so deep in the should mindset guiding your actions that you don't even know what would be best for us. We've lost touch with our own self-trust, and we're caught up in these shoulds of working out and eating clean and being that girl and doing all of these things. The longer you act based on what you think you should be doing, the harder it is to break the habit and rediscover what your true desires and best practices are. But it's not too late. The fact that you're here is evidence enough on its own that we are getting somewhere. We need to dig into how to set goals for a new year that stick and that you feel energized by, because that is a big thing. We should feel excited. We should feel energized by this. There's a couple steps that we're going to go through. These are essential. The order is essential. I'm going to explain them, and you're going to understand exactly how to do this. First things first, you need to dig deeper into your goals. You need to rediscover your deeper why. What that means is that we are making a shift from what you think you should be doing to what you truly desire, what you truly want, what is going to make your body the happiest. You need to examine your movement practice. You need to examine how you eat, how you do self-care, who you spend your time with, who you date, and question if this is truly honoring your best self or a lower force at work, like validation from other people. Weight loss is a huge one in of itself. If we feel like we should just be in a smaller body, that's a big one there. If we feel like other people won't find us attractive if we don't look a certain way, that is not a deeper why. That is shoulding. A fear of failure. If you are doing surface level things like putting yourself on another diet because you don't believe that you can do the deeper work of healing your body image, that is not serving you long term. The pressure to lose weight, to name a few. We also need to adjust any goals that you set accordingly to this deeper why. So once you have rediscovered it, once you have really dug deep and asked yourself, why do I do the things that I do? And what do I actually think would be best for me? Am I afraid of judgment? Answering all those questions, we need to adjust. For example, I had to realign my entire movement practice a few years ago when I was healing from my eating disorder. I did take time off of movement to do this mental realignment, but the realignment was mental. It was not so much changing how I moved my body. There were some tweaks, but the majority of it was realigning why I was moving my body, because the intention behind your actions matters so much more the majority of the time than the action itself. So at the time, I was training for a 5K. I was going to the gym many days a week. Like I said earlier, I was skipping my college classes to go to like gym classes instead, like Pilates or spin. And I've already mentioned I hate spin. The reason I was doing these things, the running, the gym, the skipping classes, was because I thought that's what I should be doing. I thought that's what I had to do to be small enough, to be attractive enough, to be fit enough, to be impressive enough to other people. I had to realign and readjust my goals. When I realigned, I realized that I wanted to move my body for very different reasons, not for other people's impressions of me or feeling like I was small enough or losing the weight. I wanted to move my body for my mental health, for long-term health, to be 87 and not have so much joint pain, to have a mental health outlet, to have an opportunity to go on a walk with my friends. Movement can be an amazing social outlet for us, to challenge myself personally. And now I still run. I still go to the gym. I ran many 5Ks at this point. I love the gym. I don't go to spin classes because that just was not in line with what was best for me. I still do the same habits in a lot of ways, but I've realigned and adjusted these goals So that what I hope to get out of my movement practice is very different. I'm looking for that sense of accomplishment, that personal challenge, that chance to make new friends or meet current friends, to take care of my body and my mind. And that adjustment is what keeps me showing up. I was always falling off the track with movement. I was going so hard all at once. I'm going to wake up on Monday and go to the gym 6 days a week kind of vibes. I was that girl. I was such a gym girl. And then I would burn out and not work out for months because my body was so exhausted and my mind was so exhausted. And then I'd feel like shit about myself and I'd have to get myself back in the habit. That doesn't happen to me anymore. There are times where I'm moving my body less and there's times where I'm moving my body more, but I have so much trust in how I do that. And that I know that I'm taking care of myself long term, that it meets my deeper whys of having long-term health, of taking care of my mental health, of doing all of these things. So adjustment is essential. Super tangible step that we have to do here. When you have your goals that have been realigned, you need to break them into smaller pieces. Think about like when you're younger and your parents are like, eat your vegetables. So instead of eating your vegetables, you break them into as small pieces as possible to make it look like there's like less food on the plate. That's what we're going for here, but in a good way. Once we have found your deeper goals and rediscovered why you truly want them, you need to break them into micro steps, especially if you're a perfectionist like me, or you get overwhelmed by these things typically. If you're going into the new year thinking, I want to do this and this and this, and that is so overwhelming, this step is for you. Break them into small pieces. Again, remember earlier when I said that one of the main reasons you don't maintain your habits is because you take on too much at once. You have this vision of having all of your ideal habits in full swing at once. When you realistically divide up the pie chart, that is your day or week, there aren't enough seconds. We need to break this into smaller pieces. I have so many clients who came to me in this exact same headspace, and this simple step alone is such a game changer for you. All of these quotes, and I have so much more from my clients that I could share. This is the power of taking small, sustainable steps. You will see in all of these testimonials from them. I give them small tools. I have them break things into small pieces. They have less fear, they have more confidence, and they have lasting changes because of that. Instead of trying to pull a Hannah Montana and being a new person starting Monday, choose one thing you want to change: food, mindset, movement, a journaling habit, whatever it is, and break that into small pieces. If you want to start journaling, what are the steps that you need to take to get there? You need to buy the journal. You need to do the research on what kind of journal is going to work for you. Maybe you need to compile prompts. Maybe you need to ship the journal to your house or go to the store and get it. Maybe you need to buy a nice new pen. Maybe you need to put it by your bedside. Maybe you need to set a reminder in your phone. Break it into these tiny pieces and then focus on doing those pieces. Just those little pieces. Break them down until you cannot break them down anymore. It might feel a little bit silly at first, but it is going to make this so much easier. And the reason it's going to be so much easier is because we're also going to set these micro steps into a schedule. Not necessarily like a calendar of here's exactly when you're going to do this, but a schedule in the sense that I want you to view this almost like levels of a video game where you move forward once you're ready. Like in a video game, in a game, you have to meet certain requirements before you level up. This is what we're doing here. You're going to start with one or a few of these micro action steps, like ordering the journal or setting it by your bedside or putting the reminder in your phone, that are realistic to you right now, just right now, and that can be implemented in the near future, like next couple days or week. These are your top priorities right now and your only priorities when it comes to habit change. Once those become muscle memory, because those become simple and easy, like brushing your teeth, then and only then we add more and you level up and you add new micro steps. You will be amazed at how much you get through in such a short amount of time. You'll breeze through so many of these micro steps because you'll feel so much less overwhelmed by the bigger goal that they're all working towards, because you're focused on these tiny pieces. When you focus on just the big goal, always the big goal and not the path to get there. And so all you feel is overwhelm. It's like trying to hike a mountain and trying to feel like you just need to jump from the bottom to the top in one go versus taking one stair at a time. It's a lot easier to take the stairs than jump to the top of the mountain. This is how you stay consistent. This is how you keep track of you taking tangible steps, moving towards your goals. This is how you stay confident that you're moving in the right direction and that you have observable proof as such. It should not be complicated to set achievable goals in the new year, regardless of what the goals are. If you use this formula, if you use this template, you will have so much more success than you have had in the past. I can guarantee it. Something that's going to help us do all of these steps, especially visualizing your deeper why and adjusting your goals to meet that, is that we're going to do a little bit of a practice together. And I do this with a lot of my clients, and it's really valuable. But we're just going to do a quick visualization. Most of you have your cameras off, so I can't see if you have your eyes closed or not. I recommend closing your eyes. I'm going to have my eyes open because I need to look at my notes. But close your eyes. I'm just going to read something to us that's really going to allow you to understand where you are now and where you want to be and see the path to get there. And it's going to be so helpful for you as you enter this new year. So big breath in, big breath out, eyes closed. Let's imagine. Think about what made you sign up for this circle today. What were you hoping to get an answer to? What were you hoping would be different afterwards? Create this picture in your mind for me. What does it look like if nothing changes? If you go through each day of this new year doing the same things you've done in the past. Maybe that's telling yourself that you're going to go to the gym 6 days a week starting Monday, only to inevitably fall out of the habit in less than 2 weeks. How will it feel in that moment when you once again feel like you've failed, that it's your fault that you couldn't make it stick? Maybe it's that you'll walk through each day of this year fighting that constant battle in the back of your mind. Should I just accept my body as it is, or count my calories and force myself to do a Pilates class so I can hopefully lose the weight? Accept myself, diet, and on. How does waging that constant war with yourself impact your attention span, your confidence, the meals you eat with friends, and what happens when things inevitably get worse, when the cycles you've been stuck in become more and more entrenched? Where will that put you in exactly 365 days from now, as you get ready to end another year? What will you have had to deal with every day between then and now? Now let's think about the opposite of that. What does the future look like when you make the changes that you came to this circle hoping to find the answers to? What happens when you finally release the pressure you've been putting on your body and your habits to be perfect? Maybe it shows up as satisfaction when the front desk girl at the gym starts to know you by name because you've been showing up consistently for a while now. Maybe it's a sense of peace when your coworkers start talking about their January diets, but you know that you've got an approach to your fitness and your eating that doesn't require you to cut anything out or to be miserable in order to be healthy. Maybe it manifests as you running into a high school classmate at the grocery store, and instead of dreading the interaction, you're proud of yourself because you know they've been seeing your social media updates of you living your best life. Your sexy, smart boyfriend, that trip to Greece in that adorable bikini, you and four of your closest friends having a blast on a Friday night with a margarita in each hand. Maybe it's your partner or your kids feeling more inspired to take care of themselves too, because they've been watching you show up for yourself with such determination. However this shows up for you, how has your future self been shaped because you finally said enough is enough and decided to put yourself first? Whatever vision you've arrived at, I want you to choose a word that describes what in this completely possible future. Is it freedom, strength, pride, something else? Keep that word somewhere safe in your mind. That is the energy that you're tapping into in the new year. Now that you've gotten clear on what you want to create, I want to guide you to getting there. First, I want to answer in your own mind, what are 3 reasons that now is the essential time for you to prioritize your confidence and your wellness? What are 3 reasons that now is the right time? Maybe it's because you want to be that role model for the people you love, because you know you can't go another year avoiding shorts and bikinis in the heat of the summer, or because you know that this lack of confidence in yourself is stopping you from getting that raise at work. There are no wrong answers here. Once you've landed on about 3, what is the number one challenge or obstacle that you see yourself facing or continuing to face if you continue on as you have been? Is it a struggle to hold yourself accountable, or the feeling that those around you don't understand or are stuck in the diet mindset? Is it fear of failure that's so powerful you convince yourself not to start at all? Or the overwhelm, feeling not knowing where to begin, so you just don't? Be honest with yourself here. What holds you back? And lastly, in this moment of imagining the dream version of yourself, I want you to imagine how it would feel to know that you're on a path that you know works, that will hold you accountable and show up and to not give up, and will bring you your best health and your greatest confidence yet. I want you to imagine yourself surrounded by like-minded, supportive women who are there each day to cheer you on and celebrate your wins, and a mentor that believes in you even when you struggle to see your own potential. Imagine how in this path alone, you could arrive at your dream self, that best version of you that you imagined earlier, not feeling lost and alone with the weight of this figuring this all out, but calm and supported and seen. And not in 5 years, but in 8 weeks. Remember that the words from earlier: freedom, strength, pride, confidence, trust, whatever it was. That is what we can create for you in this year together. Thank you. You can open your eyes now. I just want to give us a moment to let that sit. Wonderful. I'm so excited for the years that all of you are going to have. It's my mission in the new year to help more women make healthy choices without the pressure to lose weight or diet, to find your best health, and find peace with your body. I'm going to be helping a small group to shift our mindsets towards food and movement, a lot of what we've talked about today, to find your most consistent habits in the process, to stop negative body thoughts, to optimize your social life, your dating life, your relationships, to be kinder to yourself, and to have other people notice the changes that you're making and the confidence that you're embodying. When I work with my clients, I go all in the same way I've gone all in with this masterclass. I was so excited for it. That is how I show up to every session. I only work with about 10 people at a time, and I only work with people who are dedicated to getting out of the cycles that don't serve them, that understand that body image affects your entire life satisfaction, not just your happiness with your appearance, people who take their wellness really seriously and will positively contribute to a group environment that I run, as it is this sacred space that we are creating in the new year, where you will get life-changing support both from me and each other. I have my Dream Girl Circle, which is a group community that I run periodically throughout the year. And the January cohort, which starts on January 15th, is by far my favorite of the year because we harness so much valuable energy of the new year that we've normally directed towards putting so much pressure on ourselves to change how we look and make ourselves perfect, into finding our true desires, into making self-loving, self-serving goals that last a long time. And the groups that we create in this process are women that really lift each other up, that really want to see each other succeed. It is my favorite program. It is my most comprehensive program. It is for a very specific type of woman, but the kind of woman that would come to a call like this. There's so much included. This is the basics of who I'm looking for to join this circle. And like I said, it's a select group. So it's going to be a really beautiful place for the right person who's really motivated to make changes in the new year. And I'm really excited to be adding women to that right now. Like I showed you earlier, when I work with somebody, I give them a huge amount of my time, my energy, and my life, and I hold them to a high standard of excellence. This is how I get results like this, like you've seen throughout this call with so many of my clients that have had truly life-changing experiences. This work is not for everybody. It is not for people who are not motivated to make a change. But the people that do take this on, that are right for this work, that are right for working with me, truly change their lives in the way that you're envisioning wanting to change your life right now. In the new year, I have a couple different options as an incentive to take this leap for yourself. My coaching prices are increasing after January 3rd. So the two options you see here are what's currently available for women who are especially motivated to make lasting change. Again, this is not a program for everybody, but it is a program for someone who is committed to doing this work and going all in for themselves. Between now and January 3rd, you can opt for Pay Less, which is a one-time payment, and you get $500 off the current program fee, or Pay Later, where we break it into 4 bi-weekly payments, but you don't have that discount of $500. After January 3rd, both of these pricing options will go up. So this is the least expensive way to get into this program now for the entire year. After January 3rd, seats will be very limited. And again, that program fee will increase. As always, with my work, if you don't see noticeable differences in your mindsets, in your habits, I will hand you your money back and I will work with you until you do. That is a promise. I know that a lot of us have never invested in ourselves before. Spending money on ourselves feels like something that garners guilt, that is selfish, when in reality, doing this work on yourself, for yourself, doesn't just impact you, it impacts your kids, your partner, your friends, your family, your mom, everybody around you. And it is such a selfless act in that way. I give this guarantee of handing you your money back and working with you until you feel what you want to feel, because I want everybody to access the life-changing confidence I have found. And I don't want fear of failure to be the reason that you don't take that leap. I'm also confident that I can deliver on that promise, as I have with so many clients in the past. If that sounds fair, I have one assignment for you immediately after this call that is very important. I want you to send me a message on Instagram and tell me, on a scale of 1 to 10, how committed are you to achieving your highest confidence and stepping into your healthiest body and mind this year? Do you want to see a lasting change to achieve what you have envisioned when you signed up for this class today? If that number that you send me in a message is what I need it to be, we can talk more about working together. You've already seen the cost of not taking this action for yourself, both in how you felt in the past about yourself and about your accomplishments, and in visualizing a future where change does not happen. But you've also seen what could change if you decide now that enough is enough. Are you going to let the same cycles and patterns stop you from stepping into this dream version of yourself? Or is it time to say, enough is enough, I'm done feeling this way, and put yourself first? As soon as I end this call, I want you to open Instagram and send me that number. There is no wrong answers. There is a requirement for the work with me, though. Be honest, be brave. You'll receive your additional homework activity that is going to be really helpful in you prioritizing your goals and getting clear on them in the new year. And a copy of this recording if you want to watch it back, especially that visualization to go through that again in the coming days. I want to continue with a select few of you into this new year and make it your best year yet. And I thank you all for coming.